Good evening, everyone. It's great to have you on board. It's another time with me to Ayo in Fantastic Tutor, and in today's tutorial, it happens to be the second class we are having on the course called 214, and basically it's our Telegram class where we have a one-on-one discussion, and this is basically as a result of we have done some classes already on YouTube, and just to further enhance the understanding students, so we have to do this discussion to further expand on what we have learned on YouTube. So I have with me today Miss Regina. Good evening, ma.
Good evening, sir. Good to have you, sir.
It's good to have you on board, ma. So in our last class, please can you remind us where we stopped in our last class and where we are taking it up from today?
I stopped at behavioral approaches.
Behavioral
Yeah,
approach.
behavioral approach, yes.
Okay.
Why you said it is also called behavioralism.
Very true. Very true. Okay, so what do you have on that, ma?
That it is called broad-based efforts to impose standard of scientific rigor by relying on you gather your evidence legally, step by step, of process of arriving your junction.
Okay. So now, this is an approach, and I believe the discussion started from somewhere. All right. I think the discussion started from the public administration as a variety of institutionalism, all right, being a subfield of political science. And we talked about the human relation approach, all right, and we talked about post-behavioralism, and we talked about the system approach, all right. So the conversation started from somewhere, and here we are, all right, having talked about the pluralism or group approach, then we have it now on what we call the behavioralism or behavioral approach. Okay, so according to what you said, ma, just a moment. Now, according to what you said, now this is an approach. Okay, the course is all about how political science functions, how it should be, all right, addressed, considering different theories and approaches. And based on what we have here, according to the behavioral approach, otherwise known as behavioralism. The behavioralism. All right. Now, what we are simply talking about here, when it comes to this approach, all right, it's basically a theory on its own as well. All right. In as much as we can see it as an approach, it's as well a theory. All right. It's a set of principles, set of rules. All right. Theory generally accepted that suggests people learn and develop through what we call observable behavior and external stimuli. I don't know if you get that, ma'am. When we talk about the behavioral approach or behavioralism, we are simply talking about a theory or an approach that suggests that when you approach, all right, when you use this approach or you follow this theory, you get to find out that people learn through what we call observable, all right, behaviors. People get to learn by observation.
Okay, sir.
All right. People get to learn by observable behaviors and what we call external stimuli. I don't know if you get that, ma'am.
Yes, sir. By seeing what other people do and you inculcate it to your daily activity.
Exactly. Okay.
Yes, sir. I have
And now, okay, that's why it says here, it says something like this approach rely on what we call empirical evidence. All right. I remember we said when we're talking about empirical, we are talking about things that can be proved, activities
yes.
that can be proved, that are not abstract. All right.
Okay.
But things that are factual, things that are observable, things that are verifiable, things that
Yes.
are real. Then we're talking about empiricals. Please, you can continue now.
Okay. It's a okay. Empirical evidence to build in contrast a legalistic approach of the 1940 and 40s and 50s. We have
Exactly.
features of behavioral approach. So
Okay.
according to, is it Truman in 1951, he said,
Yes.
in the behavioralism, the research must be systematic and base primary emphasis
Emphasis
on
on
empirical methods.
empirical methods. Yes. Can you explain this? Do you want to share more light into this?
The way I understand it, it just goes with how you analyze it, that is something you do, what you seen in others or in the society, while you add it to what you have.
Okay. 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 Now, don't forget that everything we are talking about here, it's about politics. All right. How politics should be handled, how politics should be seen, how it should be approached. Okay. So if we are talking about behavioralism approach to politics, all right, we are simply referring to the fact that politicians or leaders must, all right, observe, all right, must observe certain, all right, strategies that works when it comes to politics. All right, they must observe, they must look out, they must reach out, they must do some empirical studying when it comes to politics. And how do they tend to achieve this? They need to go out there and consider the political system of other countries. Now, look at what Trump said here, considering the approach called the behavioralist or behavioralism approach. All right, considering the future in 1951, Truman, all right, said that behavioral political science, okay, behavioral political science demands that research must be systematic. Don't forget that we said when it comes to behavioralism, it is tied to empirical research.
Okay.
Okay, so now Trump is now saying that if we are to go by behavioral political science, that there is need for a systematic, all right, research, and emphasis must be placed on empirical methods. Okay, so now you know we're talking about research. Before you can, there's always a purpose for every research. It's either you are trying to develop what has been, or you are trying to discover what is yet to be discovered. I don't know if you get. So now, if you
Yes.
are going by this, if you are going by this holistically, then emphasis must be laid on being objective. There must be objectives in the sense that this is, let's take for example, how do we improve social welfare in Nigeria? Now, for government to do this, it should not just be based on some sort of random research or some sort of random idea. All right. Every idea, every suggestion that will be brought to the table must come with facts, must be factual.
Okay.
Okay, we want to invest 1 million naira in welfare. All right. Which department will be held responsible for this commission? All right. How many departments, how many units in how many regions of the country are we going to have this department responsible for this project? All right. These are approaches that are systematic. All right. done one step at a time, and there are enough facts. All right, enough facts in the sense that every of the things we are doing are properly researched, and the chances that we'll get 100% or 99.9% of what we are intending to achieve is certain. Why? Because emphasis has been laid on empiricals. All right, that's
Yes, sir.
according to Trauma in 1951. Okay, can we take a step further now?
Okay, we talk briefly about acronyms. APSA, American Political Science Association.
Situation, yes.
Okay. We now move to post behavioralism.
Yes, post behavioralism.
Okay. Coming. Okay, post behavioralism. It said political scientists took it upon themselves to provide solution to problems. To provide
Okay,
solution to problems.
okay, ma'am. You know, when we say post behavioralism, we are talking about two different things. Are you aware of that?
Yes, after.
Good. All right. So when we say, we said something about the behavioral approach, otherwise known as behavioralist. All right. And
Yes.
we said it's by observing what others are doing and use it and apply it, observing what others are doing and apply to get your own expected results. So when we say post behavioralism now, it says it was the duty of the political scientists to find out solutions, all right, to contemporary problems. Now, politics is embedded within overall system whose part directly or indirectly influence nature of politics. Now, what are we saying here is that having used this approach, all right, what are the expectations? All right, what are the expectations? There is a before, and definitely there should be an after. All right, so if you are going through the approach of behavioralism or behavioralist approach, then what are the expectations? All right, so this is what we're talking about here, and we are being told that it is the responsibility of the scientists to observe, to take note, and ensure that indeed the system or the approach was the right approach in solving whatever problem that was before that needed to be attended to. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Okay, we talk briefly about politics.
Okay.
One person cannot do politics. It is a collective activity,
Exactly.
and it occurs through the society, from family, group,
Mm.
voluntary association, and multinational corporation. One person cannot do
Awesome.
politics. It starts from the
Awesome.
family, from family to community, from community to or society. So
It's a game of number.
yes, so
Awesome.
again, you said politics means planning and organizing common projects, setting
Mm.
rule and
Okay.
standard, defining relationship, sharing of resources.
Mm. There's a lot in that definition you just gave. There's a lot in it. All right.
Yeah.
But emphasizing on the fact that when it comes to politics, all right, it's a process.
Mhm.
All right, it is a process. All right, and when we talk about planning is something that requires time and effort to exhibit. or to execute.
Yes.
So, having known the fact that there is time, that's why you see politicians. Something that will happen in the next 20 years or even 40
That
years, they're already
they will
making
start
plans for it.
planning. They will start planning
Yes.
ahead.
You, yeah, you will see them. They will start planting their own people in
Hmm.
strategic areas, not because of next year, not because of 2 years after. It's because of 20
5
years.
years to come.
Exactly. All right. So when it comes to politics, it's a thing of planning. As you are planning, you are organizing things. All right. You are deliberate about organizing things and not just organizing, you are organizing common projects. All right. You see some politicians or some political party going out doing certain projects, not basically, all right, we never can tell, all right. But if you look at it very well, it is still kind of um, ensuring that people can trust them, ensuring that people can have them rule. It says here, setting rules, setting standards, all right, and also defining the relationship of people between one another, and most importantly, the allocation of resources. All right. So it's a lot of things when it comes to politics. And who gave this definition, ma? And in what year?
Stalker, 1995.
Also. So we can take a step further.
Okay, sir. After that, we move to system approach.
Okay.
So system approach is credited to Easton in 1953.
Okay.
It's a political system of interactions in any society through
Is
which
that system of interaction? Yes. Please continue.
binding rules and authoritative allocation are made.
Okay, I think you missed something there.
Okay,
According to
sir.
what Easton in 1953 said, all right, according
Yes,
to
sir.
him, he insisted, all right, there has been a conversation, all right, and he insisted that, according to me, as far as I'm concerned, when we talk about political system, it is that system of interactions in any society,
Yes,
all
sir.
right. So politics can only exist in a society. It cannot exist in isolation, all right. Exist in any society through which binding, all right, there's a binding and there is a authoritative allocation are made. So when people interact in a society, according to politics, when they interact because they want to bind. They want to see themselves as one,
As one.
living together in peace and harmony. Okay? And irrespective of that, there's also one very important part of this binding, knowing fully well that the national cake must be shared appropriately. All right. No matter how
Yes.
much binding that is going on, if it comes to the allocation of resources, all right, if a set or a group feels that there has been inequalities there, this can really disrupt the binding process. And I believe you can also agree with me to some extent. All right.
Yes, sir.
So even as they are binding, all right, that is why he said binding or authoritative allocations. All right. The allocations are also very, very important, even as much as the binding process is also important. All right. So we have that as well. Can we take a step further?
That was where volume 3 ended. You have not posted volume 4. So I
Oh.
have volume 5 with me.
But you requested for it the other day and I sent it to you, ma.
It was 5 you sent.
Just a moment, ma. Okay, I'm trying to check very quickly. Okay, ma, have you gone through the elite class?
Hello?
Can you hear me, ma?
Yes, I can hear you.
Have you gone through the elite class?
Yes, elite approach.
Yes, yes. That was actually the volume.
The volume 4.
That was actually the volume 4. I think I made a mistake by indicating it as
Putting
volume
volume
5.
5.
Yes,
Yeah, I only briefly um worked there.
because the behavioral
That was the
approach is
one I
volume
did
3.
yesterday that I told you I have not put down my note properly.
Okay, okay. The elite approach is actually the volume 4. I think I'm telling you now, changing it immediately. So
Okay.
let's take something on that.
Okay.
Just a moment. Okay, now when we say elite approach, what are we referring to? We are simply referring to, all right, the elite approach was developed as an alternative paradigm to pluralism. Have we taken pluralism?
No, sir.
Okay, so let's talk about pluralism before we talk about the elite approach. So when we take pluralism or group approach, now pluralism in its classical form believes that politics and decision making are located mostly in the governmental framework, but
Sir, we have
many
taken
non.
pluralism, sir. Hello, sir. Sorry to cut in.
Okay,
We have
okay,
taken
okay,
pluralism
okay, good,
or group
good.
approach.
Yes, yes, good, good. So now the elite approach was developed as an alternate or alternative paradigm. Do you know what I mean when we say paradigm? Do
No,
you
sir.
understand what we mean by that?
No, sir.
Now, when we say paradigm, we are simply referring to as a prototype, all right,
Okay.
an example or a model, all right. So, elite approach was developed as an alternative model, all right, to pluralism.
Okay.
Now, by rejecting the pluralist view concerning the distribution of power in society. So now, according to the the elite approach rejects the pluralist view when it comes to the distribution of power in a society. And that is what led to the elite approach. It's an alternate paradigm or alternate approach. Are we on the same point? Are we on the
Yes,
same
I'm
page,
with
ma'am?
you, sir. Yes, I'm with you, sir. Hello, sir.
Now, it says here that Karl Marx conceived power. Okay? He conceived power within the context of economic domination. Are we on the same page? He said,
Yes, I'm with you.
yes. So he said, according as far as it's concerned, when it comes to the
A light
when it comes
approach.
to yes, when it comes to the distribution of power and who gets to will, all right, the power. According to him, he said it is those who have economic domination, meaning the wealthy and the
Yeah, the
highly
riches.
influential people,
Okay.
all right, economic domination by the ruling class. Again, the working class proliferate. Now, what we are trying to say is that it's more like the approach talks about power for the few, or power for the nobles. Okay,
Yes, sir.
whereby only people that are only people that controls the economy does controls or wields the power. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
this is what the elite
Approach.
this is what the elite approach is talking about. All right, and for Max Weber, that is Karl Marx's opinion, but for
Okay. Okay.
Max Weber said power is the responsibility of imposing one's will upon behavior of others. All right. So now, based on what we are still talking about, all right. So now, when Karl Marx said that the people who dominate economically are the ruling class, as against the working class proletariat. All right. So Karl Marx is now saying that when it comes to power, all right, it is nothing more than imposing one's will upon the behavior of others. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They dominate
So,
others because of the
yes,
resources they have.
yes, exactly. Okay, I think we have actually moved. All right, having talked about the elite approach, I think the next thing on the list is what power is. All right, and as we have it, Max Weber has opened the floor. All right. So having said that, he said there are major proceedings, implications of these definitions as the quality of power is that power is applied in social relation. All right. So one thing we are told is that power or no power, all right, you cannot impose or exhibit or use power in isolation. All right. What makes power power is because there are people, all right, you can actually use it on. All right. So it is applied in what we call social relation. Now, the other quality is that power is the ability to get things done, to make others do what we want, and
Hmm.
make others do what we want, even if they do not want to do it.
Hmm.
I don't know if you get that. Still talking about
Yes.
power here.
Okay.
All right. Making others do what we want,
Do what
even though.
they cannot do ordinarily,
Exactly.
except
Exactly.
because of one thing or the other, it will compel them to do it.
Exactly. Exactly. So there are three major types of power. All right. And they may be distinguished in terms of their type and influence. All right. Brought upon the subordinate individuals. All right. Now,
Okay.
these three types of power are we have force.
Yes.
We have
Domination,
domination.
manipulation.
Awesome. And we have manipulation. Awesome. Have you gone through this class before now, ma?
No, but someone taught me briefly. That was why.
Awesome.
But
Awesome.
I
That's a good
just
one.
stopped. I stopped there. That was why I was able to respond to it.
Awesome. Awesome. So when we talk about force, what do you have? What do you have on it, ma?
The force. The power holders. Maybe the one that has the power. He will use what he has as that power to use it on force or to manipulate that person to do what he wishes him or her to do,
Hmm.
whether by shouting, whether by using law against that person. He wants that subordinate to know that the power I am, the office that I am now, I want to use it upon you to do what I want you to do.
Okay. I think you have a point there. Now, when we say force, it is the use of raw might.
Okay.
Do you have that? The use
Yes,
of
sir.
raw might. By who? A power holder. In order to exercise power, when he or she influences behavior. And this comes with what we call physical manipulation. All right?
Yes, sir.
Subordinated individuals are manipulated. This process involves the manipulation of subordinated individuals. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Manipulation of subordinated, more like the physical manipulation, actually. Physical manipulation of subordinated individuals. And it is also referred to as the use of raw might by a power holder to
Okay.
exercise power. Do you have that, man?
Yes, I got it, sir.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, when we say domination, what do you have on domination, man? Hello, are you with me, man?
No, sir, I'm with you. We can't say it's force, but it's just like it that the power I have, I want to use it on you. It might be negative, it might be positive. That authority. Hello.
Okay. Yes, I'm with you, man.
I said domination is when the power in your care, you want to use it against that person. Authority
Awesome.
that
Awesome.
you must
Awesome.
do as I say.
Yes. It says here that it is connected and identical with authoritarian power of command. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Authoritarian power of command. All right? What are we talking about here? We are simply saying that when you talk about domination, we are referring to that part of power that is authoritative. All right? That part of power that is authoritative. Okay? That
Yes,
part
sir.
of power that involves the use of authoritative command, all right, to take possession, all right, to take total possession or take total control of the subjected, all right, individual. However, for domination to be present, there must be an individual who rules or a group of rulers, an individual who is ruled or group that is ruled. All right. So what I'm talking about here is that when you talk about domination, basically the person who does domination is referred to as more like a ruler. All right. The person who wields the power is more like a ruler, unlike force, where we say it is the use of raw might. What do you have on manipulation, man? Do you have anything on manipulation? Hello, man, are you there?
Hello, sir. Hello.
Can you hear me, man?
Yeah, the network went off, but it's back.
Okay.
Hello.
But did you get what I said on
You said,
domination?
what do I have on manipulation?
Also.
Manipulation is when you say A and they twisted it all other way around to C.
Okay, not bad. One thing we need to get here about manipulation is that it is when a power holder controls or influences the behavior of others. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
It is when the power holder controls or influences the behavior, all right, of others in a manner that is unfair.
Okay.
Controlling of others, influencing their behavior in a manner that is unfair.
Okay.
Are we good?
Yes, we are, sir.
Awesome. Now, I think we should call it wrap here for today, so we can take it up
You
from
have tried.
authority in our next class now.
Thank you, sir.
Please, can you cover up with the class tonight? By next week, this week we are entering into, I want us to finish with this course. If possible, we can take another course.
Yes, we still have is it INR 242? I've not
How
even
many
heard of
courses
it.
in total is the minimum?
I have 9.
How many have we done, ma?
I will send it to you. We have done about 4 or 5 or 6.
Wow, we still have
I
a long
know
way to go.
I have two more
Okay, that we have not touched at all.
that we have not touched. I saw one statistic basic kinikon. I will send it to you tomorrow.
Yes, I saw that one too. I wanted us to do that one next, but I realized
Yes,
that we
please.
have not done. I realized that we have not done some. Usually, I reserve calculation for last because when we start, we will not do another one again. That's the only
Yes.
thing we'll be doing back to back.
Okay,
So,
sir.
what I will do now is that this course, I have them recorded already. So I'll just send them all to you. Okay?
Okay, sir.
I'll send them
Yes,
all
sir.
to you. So probably just 1 or 2 days, you are going to finish it. So when you finish
Okay,
it 1 or 2 days, just let me know.
Okay.
Send the note, then we can take some other course immediately within this week.
Okay, sir. I will do that, sir.
I will send it to you this night, man. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you very much, sir. Grateful, sir.
Good night, man.
Regards to family. Good night, sir.
I listen. Bye.
Yes.